Okay, this thing's on. Have an apple a day. It's very important. So I'm doing this video. It's gonna be like a compilation video, just so I can kind of clear up the air about this post of mine and the whole intent, right? And feel free to just skip this, but I'm gonna walk you through the entire process of what recording an album as ALAEDDIN is concerned, like what the process is like. Just so you can get an idea as to what goes into this, and that's why we actively promote a crowdfunder, which is basically just a pre-sale. Now, you're helping us basically make up for lost time spent on clients. I don't wait tables, I don't drive for Uber, those days are done. I own a recording studio full-time, and so my livelihood is based off of having clients come in, recording them, producing them, blah, 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 blah. But with the album being very important to me, to my fans, and to anyone else that is into this sort of music, that takes priority, obviously. So I had to prioritize and cut a lot of my clients and a lot of my hours, just so I can actually deliver this album within 6 months, which for a 14-track, self-produced, self-recorded, self-mixed, self-everything, written, guy was a huge part of this. He spent every single night with me in the studio, whether he was participating or not, he was there. And that level of dedication I don't expect from anybody. But what troubles me is the level of dedication I get from the people that have always shown their support in the past. But now it's like, when it comes to like $1 or $5, I mean, you know, you're probably thinking, oh, he owns a recording studio. Yes, I own a recording studio, and it's doing very well. And I can continue to do great, but that would mean you'll never get an album. So I needed to swap out my livelihood for this commitment. And so I'd spend, I don't know, 1,001 hours on this thing. And so I want to give you a general understanding as to how many hours go in and how many hours truly went in, and then how many hours that is swapped out with clients. That's the hours I've donated just to make this thing happen. And don't forget, it isn't just me, but this is also for Guy. We're frustrated, yes, because you know we're always quick to answer any messages, to get in touch with anyone, but more importantly, we're always helping. That's why we're in this. It's to help, to make people happy, to get their dreams to come true, or to just make them feel better. I have clients that come in that have no aspirations to do anything aside from just get into the vocal booth and just sing their hearts out, and that makes them feel better. Do I get enjoyment out of it? Yes. But what I don't get enjoyment out of is just feeling like giver's gain is not working. And I'm gonna continue to give. Whether people are supporting the album or not, I believe in what I do. It's just when you hear people say that they believe in what you do, but they don't really, you know what I mean? Because life and all this shit, that's cool. But the problem is, if I'm going to be a leader in this industry, then I need to act like a leader and show the love that I do, but also, you know, explain what time it is. So I'm heading to the studio now, and I'm gonna pull up just a session, and I'm gonna basically explain how many hours go into this. Okay, so I'll see you in a second. All right, so welcome to Granted. Oh my God. Okay, so let me walk you through and kind of give you a look at brief. So this drum kit, we use this drum kit. I track every single drum. Okay, so when it comes to writing, the album is all written in 2 weeks, the whole thing, all 13 tracks done in 2 weeks back in September. It sounds easy, right? Well, it's not. You need years and years of doing this shit to really be able to channel what you're hearing. And then the next is conveying it into an instrument. It's kind of like when you hear a song in your head and you challenge yourself to sing the exact note that you hear. Try doing that. See how difficult that is. It's not that easy. Now take that idea and take a song that you've never heard before that's in your head and then put it into something that's created by humans. Okay, so 2 weeks. And then that's all written on these guitars, mainly right here. So I'm gonna walk you guys through one song, the whole process from start to finish, and then you can do the math and multiply that by 13. See how what human being on earth can get all of this done in 6 months by himself. I had a lot of help on the vocal production side from Guy. A lot of huge credit for him. He was here insane amount of hours. So let me just walk you through from beginning. I'm sitting there, I'm like, huh. All right, I can All right, I have to come up with a melody. What? That's cool. All right. Now what? Oh wait, I have to go into a different section. Cool. Okay, cool. That's a pre-chorus. How you doing? How you doing, baby? Oh, cool. Okay, how you doing? Maybe we can build something around that because this album is a concept album and every single song has to have something to do with the other. So I got to make sure the whole story is told in a very concise fashion. So I got to keep that in mind too. All right, so what are we going to do for a chorus? We need a hook. We got the verse. We got a pre-chorus, something that kind of, anticipates it, but what's going to happen? We need to resolve something for the chorus. So let's try something like this, a happy. Yeah, that's cool. But then right? That's some frustration right there. And then back to, that's cool, yeah, it's like authoritative. So, that's cool. All right, awesome. So I got a verse, a pre-chorus, and now a chorus. That's great, but I need something in the middle, something to kind of break it up. So we're not just doing verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, end, right? We can do that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to challenge myself and write a new part. So yeah, there we go. Oh, now I gotta put lyrics to it, huh? Right? And change up the melody so it's not so, right? So this last one. And then change it up even more. And then let's go back into the pre-chorus, but not like a full, but just something more chill. How you doing? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Cool. How you doing, baby? 'Cause you're blowing, right? Chorus. Cool, you know what I mean? And then, but again, we need like an outro. So we need something else. How about, a new chord progression maybe. So after the chorus, cool. Okay, cool. So I got the whole thing. I got myself an intro, got a verse, a chorus, verse 2, chorus 2, with a pre-chorus in between. Then I got my bridge, and I got my chilled out pre-chorus. I got my build up into the chorus, right? And then resolving into this outro, a completely new chord progression, a completely new melody. Great. Let's record. So let me walk you through that fun stuff. So now I've got my guitar chords, right? We know that. So let me kind of show you what this stuff is. This here is my session. This is what I record with. You got your lyrics here, all right, that I write. So again, on top of all those melodies, I start fitting in lyrics, and Guy is always a big help with that as well. So I got my chords, right? So I laid these down. But, you know, now that I wrote down the chords, I need to figure out rhythmically what am I going to do. So, oops, let's solo it out. So this is, I decided instead of playing those kind of colorful ding, 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 right, I'm going to just have it boom, boom, boom. That doesn't sound very right. What the heck's that? How am I going to put that on a record? But again, it's pre-production. I just need to figure out what I'm playing. As far as the sounds, I'll figure that out later. I have it in my head, but I don't want to mess with that yet. I just want to lay down something so that I can start recording, okay? So now I start mapping that out. I need to start thinking about parts. I got guitar 1, right? Kane. So that's Kane's part. So I send that to him. He learns it, right? I even do a video. So I do a video tutorial, and I show him where on the instrument I want him to play those chords. And then guitar 2, Rosh. This is the color, right? This here, I just hear it, and it just came to me, and I just... Cool. And then and then you just copy paste it, right? And again, that's raw. Okay. So them not raw together sounds like this. Just the guitars. Now, again, mind you, this is all recorded here at the studio. And, you know, you're talking proper takes, proper signaling, make sure that I'm not peaking or anything, right? And that I'm in time. So that's a melody. Right? So that's a melody. So I wrote a vocal melody. Now I wrote a guitar melody that has to work together. Right? So if I sing over that, those, you know, that stuff that I was humming. Right? And then I need another melody. Why? Because the Aladdin sound, a big part of it is the synth. And there's the Aladdin synth. And so I had to think of another melody. And so... All right. So there's that melody. So I got now vocal melody, guitar 2 melody, Rosh, right? And I got keys melody. All right. Now, bass line. You know I'm a bass player. Or you probably don't, but I'm a bass player. Yes, I mean, I'm everything. I play all that shit, but I am a bass player. That's my passion. That's what I love. And I have to make sure it's colorful. So... What did that do? It inspired a whole new melody right there. When I laid down that bass line, yeah, it gave me my inspiration for the Arabic. Another part of the Aladdin sound are the backup harmonies. Not really backup harmonies. No, that's false. It's the alternate melodies. And that's the Arabic. That's the part of the angels. They're singing completely different melodies from the main vocalist. And yes, they're all tracked by me. So everybody thinks that they're like females. It's not. It's me. I'm proud of it. Yeah, like listen to that. Oh hayya ajat. All right. Oh hayya ajat, which is Arabic. It means here she comes. Okay. Yes. Lyrics, new lyrics for the Arabic. So I'm writing lyrics for the English, lyrics for the Arabic. Okay. Now, as soon as, but the Arabic comes last, okay? As far as flow, we go guitars, keys, bass. I track all that shit, and then I send it as, it sounds like this. This is what Joe gets when I send him tracks. He gets this. No drums, right? But what I do have, I program my own drums because I know what I want. And so... Cool. So that is what he gets 2 forms. He gets with the drums, so he knows what I'm kind of feeling and hearing and seeing where the cuts are and all that shit. And then when he comes in, that's a whole can of worms. I mean, I might as well just save myself the, I don't know, 30 to 50 hours of this. And here, I'll show you. And Joe, I mean, I fucking love him. And he comes in and just, he's like a click. Okay. Every mic is drum. Every drum is mic'd. And that means The kick is mic'd, the snare is mic'd. So a kick, boom, tack, boom, boom, tack. So that's your snare. I got the snare mic'd. I got dun, 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 dun. Those toms, right? 3 of them. So I mic every tom. And then I got my hi-hat mic'd. And I've got my overhead, so the crashes and everything. So that's also mic'd. And so if you look, you got these bright greens, kick, snare, hi-hat, overhead, overhead. And these are the toms. The reason why these are dark green, because I go in and I double all my live takes. So this is a raw kick drum take. You see how you still hear the snare? Right? But the kick's loud because the mic is right in front of the kick. But I still need to go in and shape. So I do my thing, and I go in. But it's still not the sound that I want. It's great. I love it. And I always keep my live snare. A lot of engineers and mixers will just completely replace the snare, but I don't do that. I do the same thing for the snare, where I go in and I double every single note and make sure that they're right, because I use a program that will capture these hits, but a lot of them, they're false hits, false positives, you know, and so a lot of them too. So you have this buildup right here. You see these 4 dots? That's the snare doing or right there, right? So you want to make sure you capture all 4 hits and that they're there, right? So I go in and I do the snare doubling. It's support. Look how, I mean, so the live snare, same volume as these replaced. But what you get is this really cool fucking snare sound that is unique to us because it's a combination. Cool. So with your kick and snare, cool. And I do that for the toms. So I replace the toms, but for example, like right here, all that's there. And then lastly, I shape my overheads to make sure that they're truly overheads and not just room mics, but that they're actually crash cymbals. What you get is that sound. I have to go in and shape the sound of every single instrument. Oh my God. Okay. So there's that. And once I get that edited, right, because I go in and make sure that it's all lined up so everything is just right as far as timing and it's matched up, and then I now can go in and start tracking vocals. I do track vocals with my program stuff, but I do like having a live drum in my mic. I mean, in my headphones, but I don't need it. I've been doing this long enough where I can probably sing to a click right now. Okay, literally just a click. I did that actually towards the end of the album. Okay, so then now we start sitting with Guy. Vocal production, right? You thought it's over. It's not. That's just the instrumentation. I have to go in and shape every single sound of all those instruments, and then now we focus on the most important thing, and that's the voice. So every take, go in there, making sure, here, like, let me show you an example. So I have these auto-tuned, okay? It's just industry standard. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it means to auto-tune. So let me go in, and I'm going to reset all. Okay, so this is what it sounds like raw without the auto-tune. And you know, we'll take out the effect as well. So all the effects, this is just a raw take of my vocals.
Walked in from
Let's solo it out so you can actually hear it.
From across the room, a smile in your eyes. Sleepless nights and endless questions haunting my mind.
Every note counts. I can't just cheat a note. You can't. That's just not going to happen. We're striving, yes, to the human factor. Blah, blah, blah. When I listen to an album and if somebody's just a little bit off, I'm out. All right, I'm sorry. It's just how I am. So I set those standards on other people. So I better set those standards for myself. Other people that want it to be, you know, they don't mind that it's kind of cool. It's their vibe. Cool. It's not my vibe. I don't like that. I want to give it the best performance possible. Now, granted, I'm
Walked in from across the room.
I don't sound like a shithead, right? But
I go in and I shape every single note. I can't just go and say auto-tune everything. I have to go in, for example, say I did that. So here, so say I decided to do that. I go, hold on a second. Yeah, let's say set all to perfect pitch. Okay. Yeah, let me just, yeah. All right, I'm just gonna select this region. All right, so all to perfect pitch. Let's see if it works. Swallow it out. Walked in from across the room, a smile in your eyes. Sleepless nights and endless questions haunting my mind. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. Why? You see that? All these little things that I do, these are all like my little trills. Sometimes it throws off the auto-tune and it makes it think that I am singing one note when I actually sang two notes. Okay, or if I'm doing a slide, like all this, it grouped it as one note. Thankfully, it was right. But this, for example, let me zoom in on this. Look at that. It thinks this note and this note are the same. I'm going, duh, right? So it's taking this high and this low part of my word, duh, right? And it's combining them together and making them think that the average of these two notes is where I'm trying to get. I'm just trying to get the feel note. It's two different notes. So I actually have to go in, and since I see that the majority of the note is here in this region, and this is just kind of going up, ba, right? I have to go in and fine-tune it and line up the median of this part of the line and not the entirety, right? So I exclude that consideration and just make sure this thing is lined up on pitch with my, what it, it bases it off, and that's the key. So now, from across the... See? Cross. But I have to go in, and I do this to make sure. From across the... There it is. You see? So it thought I was supposed to be up here. Listen to that difference. From across the... All right? So you might think, oh, I can't tell the difference. Believe me, if you're in the industry, you can tell the difference. Walking from across the... You hear that? From across the... Now... Listen to that. Walking from across the... Cool. All right. I might have to even like bump this thing up. What I can do is do a pitch drift and have this thing go up to there. See if I can go up to that note. Da 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 ba ba. Walking from across the... Cool. I like that. All right. Even here. Da. You see how this thing? It doesn't... The majority of the note is here, but it looks at this thing, my little... And it considers that as part of the pitch. So that... is what that's what it should be. It should then the majority of the note is within the key. So you just basically make sure that the lines, these lines you see here, are basically just drawn right between each little section here. And that means you're in perfect pitch. Okay, so I go in and I tune my vocals. That's just the first line. So that'll probably take, I don't know, 5 minutes. And if it was you, it'd probably take you an hour. I've been doing this for 20 years now. I'm able to cut down, but you can imagine I do this for every region, right? So that's the next part of the song. Feels like verse 2. And that's another thing, too. In this song, I didn't write just a verse melody for the first verse and just copy-pasted it. Listen to this melody. Walked in from across... You've heard that already, but now this is the second verse. Does it sound anything like the first verse? Feels like you're miles ahead of where I'm supposed to be. Night's not over, I'm taking the wheel, now rewrite history. All right, so let me walk you through what, you see that? I had to go in there because it looked at these two notes. I mean, it just didn't know what the fuck I was trying to do because it's just not used to somebody doing all these things, right? Over, I'm taking the wheel now. All right, go in and shape all that stuff, every single region, but that's a completely different melody for the second verse over the same chords, same music. Feels like you're miles ahead of where I'm supposed to be. Right? So guys there, he's my voice coach. He's making sure I'm getting some solid takes, right? He's there. He's making sure I'm not lazy, I'm not cutting corners, and I'm putting my full passion behind it. Verses, typically, it's just one voice, okay? And then I got the chorus, right? The chorus notes, go in, shape all those guys, making sure that it's all right? See, like all that stuff. You see this thing right here? It's not a solid bar. It's because I went in and shaped it, because look at this note and look at that note. Okay, now because it's a chorus, I have to double, right, to make it sound bigger. So I do the same thing for these guys. All right, so it's the same note. So if you hear it, it sounds like just the same guy singing. How you doing? How you doing, baby? Now, if one of those notes are just a little bit off, it'll stand out. And let me give you an example. I'm going to take it back to original pitch. How you doing? How you doing? Hear that? How you doing? Hear that? So those subtle differences. Doing? How you doing, baby? How you doing? All that. You can, I don't know if you can hear it, but I can. And it stands out way too much for me to like that shit. So I go in and I fine-tune everything. Believe me, all these fine-tunings, it is a game changer when it comes to the final mix. Completely. So now we got my main vocals. Boom. Done. That takes a whole day. Tracking my vocals takes a whole day. Get the proper performance, doubles, triples, all that fun stuff. The vocal production does not end there. This is where Guy's genius comes into play. I love harmonizing and I'll make up harmonies, but I don't know if I'm a third above, a fourth above. I hear it and it's right. But Guy, there are multiple options. It's not like you can only sing a fourth above or a third above. There's a fourth, a fifth, sixth, seventh, and different variations of the seventh, variations of the third, even the fifth. So all that's considered in Guy's mind while we're mapping out our harmonies. So, for example, let's take it from the pre-chorus. How you doing, right? How you doing? So, so this is what we decided on. How you doing? How you doing, baby? All right, that's a high harmony. Do-do-do-do. Again, same process. Doubles, right? Two voices, go in, and I shape everything, making sure that's right, okay? That's for the entirety of the song. Aladdin music has a lot of harmony, so it's not like just coming in on the chorus. Look at that. It's all through the verses. So here's the verse. You could say you don't know where I'm going, but nothing's stopping me. All right, and then it's not over. We got our low harmony. So I got my main harmony, and I got this high harmony, right? And I'm going to map out now the lower harmony. Why? Because then it sounds like fucking this. To write a story. You could say you don't know where I'm going, but nothing's stopping me. All right. And then once I do all of the tracking, I don't even like editing and all that stuff, I do later. It's just tracking for the entirety. So harmonies take up an entire day as well. So I got my main vocals for a day, and then I got my high harmonies, low harmonies together for a day. Then I got another day, sometimes two, and that's the Arabic. And that's really where Guy's genius comes into play. I come up with these melodies, right? Sometimes. I know, you're probably wondering, oh my God, it sounds so majestic. What is it? Just a bunch of reverb and delay. Okay? All right. All that, different melodies. All right? Even that. All that, right? But look, we got Arabic, main Arabic, got Arabic high harmony, Arabic low harmony. So let's break this down. Main vocal, high harmony, low harmony. Arabic main, high harmony for the Arabic, low harmony for the Arabic. That's 6 vocal takes I have to track, mix, edit, make sure they all line up properly. Okay, we haven't gotten into the mixing side of things. I think you're getting the idea here. But let's just keep going. And then gorgeous. All right, so that is all laid out. That typically takes a day. And then we've got these guys. Oh, is this another? Oh, yeah. Okay. So. Better I really feels like reasons fade to gray. okay, after everything is tracked, that's when my crazy hours start. Okay. Imagine all of these, okay, without any volume control at all. Starting from scratch, you've got all these takes and you have to shape all of them. Now, the reason why you only see so many faders is because I have them all grouped. But here, let me count them for you. 86. See that number there? 86th. So the last thing is the 80 or 92. Yeah, whatever. But that's how many I'm working with. Imagine having to shape every single one. What that entails. Let me kind of walk you through. Let's just try a simple instrument. Let's just try the kick, all right? This here is all the plugins I use to get this thing to sound the way I want it to, okay? And I go in and click on drums, program those. But more concern for me is the EQs and the compression and the noise gate. Making sure noise gate, what it is just it detects when the hit is and it silences after the hit, so that you're not hearing snares or anything else that you don't want picked up on that mic. EQ, compressor, even an envelope, which makes sure that there is some sustain. And I do that not only just for the regular kick, but I do it for the programmed kick, shape the sound, all right? For the snare, for the one snare, the second snare, the hi-hat, tom one, all that stuff has their own plugins that go in and I shape per the song. I can't do a complete copy paste, even though I do save my presets. They're all different, more or less. Okay, bass, same thing. And then keys, all that I need to make sure, and I program every single one, even from down to the keys, just to make sure that the specifics of that particular part are dialed in. So each one's got its own sound. And then once everything is mixed, it's mastered through my mastering system. And then I listen to it, I don't know, 20, 30 times with 20 or 30 fixes. Because I got to, I bounce them to MP3, listen to them in cars and all of these different speakers, and then I make the fixes. That is one song. It's one song. 13 tracks, 6 months. Well, it's 15 tracks, but 13 go on the album. So 15 tracks, that many hours, 6 months. That's what was dedicated to this album. Okay? And this is why we're looking for crowdfunding, because I gave up a lot of hours and a lot of my livelihood for this. And so did Guy. The poor guy, as I'm mixing, is like pulling double shifts as a voice coach so that he can just make ends meet for the company. We're both co-owners of Granted Records, and we're going to do something very big with this. And we were hoping to kind of build this community from the inside, and we are. It would just be nice to get a little bit more support. So now that you appreciate what work goes in, you can kind of understand the content of my post and what that is all about. So I'm not pissed by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, with this album, how can you be pissed? I'm very proud of it, and I love it. But, with everything that's happening, with it getting all these reviews now and all this attention, it's just kind of sad that the ones from the beginning said that they were there and that they would always be there, but they weren't. So anyway, onwards and upwards, as one of my mentors always says, and I'm going to leave it at that. Keep on giving, people. Keep on giving.